Okay guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the visual effects. So we got a little bit more to cover in this one. Majority of it's pretty straightforward, but they are a little bit more in depth. This one down here, interactive hotspot, I may cover this in a completely separate video because it's a little bit more in depth, and it's about how we export and stuff and how we host the video as well. So I'll show you very briefly. Also, remove a color, I'll show you that one quick. That's basically green screening, where we can remove the background color, which I'll show you very quickly, but I might do an in-depth video on it. So let's go and just grab a piece of media so that we can do some visual effects. Now again, with these, best thing to do is just play around with them, have a mess around with them, drag them on as usual onto your media down here, and then go to properties, or pop this open, click it here, go to properties, and just mess around with the settings because each one's slightly different. Majority of them you probably will never use. Like, this isn't really color correction or anything like that. You can just maybe tweak things up slightly. You know, it's not really what this software is made for. Here you can change the time that that effect is shown. You can even move it around, drag it up and down like that. So that's color adjustment. Remove that. Color tint, this basically just tints it, does what it says on the tin. Very straightforward. Not sure really when you would use these effects, but there may be a time when you do need to. Colorize was virtually the same as the tinting one, except it's one single color. Again, have a mess around with those settings. Device frame, you may use this at some point if you demoing a product. Over on the properties over here, you can change it to phones, MacBook Pro, some basic ones, and you can see you can download more there. I've never had a look at that. Could be free, could be paid. Let's remove that one. Drop shadow, that's more if you were using pictures. So oops, let's go and just grab a picture, chuck that over here, and then reduce the size of it. I'll just put a white background there just so you can see it. Oops, put it underneath. Okay, let's just make this a bit bigger. Okay, so I'm on the image here now, so I'm going to go to visual effects, drop shadow. Over here on the properties, we can change the angle of it, or you can use this wheel here as well. Offset is like the distance it's sticking out. Blur, obviously you can make it a little bit more fuzzy or a little bit less, and then opacity is kind of how strong it is as well. Okay, and that will just move around with you. It's ideal for pictures and stuff, or maybe text, to give it a little bit more depth and pop from the screen a little bit more. Freeze region, this is pretty cool. Maybe, you know, if you're filming sports stuff, might be a time when you would use this. Let's put this window here. To move it around, you click the little X in the middle, and then you can drag it around the area. You can resize it. But let me just play the video so you see fundamentally what it does on this little guy. Let's hit play. So it's took that and it just froze it there, so the rest of the stuff's moving around and he's frozen in time. So you can again, you can extend how long that happens for here, and you can just grab this and move it for when it happens as well there. And then over on your properties over here, you can invert it, so you can make it kind of happen the other way around. So he's still walking, but the rest of it's frozen. Rotate, blend, corner. Oh yeah, you can change it from rectangle to oval, or you can invert it. Oh yeah, we did invert. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I've never used it, but there may be a time, like I say, if you're doing sport stuff, you might want to use that. Glow, this is just a weird effect. where it just makes it look all odd and funny and glowy. You might want to do that if you just temporarily, if you're doing some dream state or something like that. Other than that, I don't know when you would use that. Keystroke, this is automatic. We had a look at keystroke before, where you can manually put it in with annotations, but this is where it'll automatically put it in. This would be for screen recordings when you're using shortcuts, because it's really easy if you're concentrating on doing a tutorial. It's really easy to forget to say, you know, I just press Control F or Command F or Control V or whatever. So this will actually pick that up and it will put it on the screen automatically when you do shortcuts. Mask is a little bit like one of the annotations we used. So this will basically just dull out the rest of the area. You can just change the opacity if you want it only to do it a little bit. You can make it fuzzy. You can grab these corners, resize it, make it bigger like this, and then it will just darken out the rest of the screen like that. That's very straightforward. Remove that effect. Mosaic, that's just a weird effect, weird mosaic effect. I'm not sure when you'd ever use that. Looks absolutely awful. Outline edges, again, another weird effect. I'm not sure when you'd ever use that. Kind of looks like a pencil drawing. Reflection is, I'd say you'd use that for images. So you can see down there, let's just remove the drop shadow a second. So reflection, you can bring it in closer. Oops. For some reason it's not going in proportion. So in a moment. But anyway, you can do the opacity down here. Funny how you can't actually make it touch. It's a bit of a shame. There's that. Remove a colour, we'll have a look at that in just a minute. Sepia, obviously that's going to make it look old school. I can imagine when you might want to use that. Let's remove that. Spotlight, this is where you can make it look like there's kind of a light shining. You see you got this light bulb up here. This is the direction you want the light to shine from. You can move it here so you can have it just shining a little like this. Okay, there's that, and then you've got like you can make it brighter. Opacity, focus is like how tight it's shining in, like that. Okay, so it does shine right across the screen, not like a spotlight on a stage. It just comes right out the other side as well. Opacity, that's for the shading. Or colour, I didn't know you could do that. So you can make it look red as well if you wanted to do that. Let's remove that. Window spotlight, this would be for screen recordings. This is when you open a window up, it'll dull the background out. So you can focus on the window. This hotspot here, I'll touch briefly on this, but I'm going to do a full tutorial on this as a separate tutorial. But this is where what we can do here, we can send people to URL, we can pause it, or we can make it jump to a different position in the video. So maybe if you've got different parts of a tutorial or whatever, or you know they want to skip one part, that you can make the video stop and then they click the screen if they want to carry on the video, or if they want to jump to the next bit. So we'll do a full tutorial on that, because that is you know, and how we host it and everything, that's a lot more complicated there. Clip speed, straightforward enough. Add this, you'll probably use this a lot. So here we can speed it up. So let's go, let's 10x it, or in fact let's just, oh I already did it, down. Just press undo there. It's going to back it out. Now the clip speed, actually I can't do what I was hoping to do. I was hoping to right, let's 10x it. See it go really quick. Now it looks jerky as hell there, but when we actually render that out, then it will be nice and smooth. And then we can also do the opposite, where we can go 0.5, which would be half the speed, where we can slow it right down as well to slow motion. So slow motion will depend on if it's what the frame rate is recorded in. So if the frame rate is not fast, then the slow motion, you're not going to be able to slow it down too much. Let's go a quarter of the speed. See how this is looking. So you can see it's a little bit jumpy there, but this has got a super high frame rate on it, so it's looking pretty good. Let's remove that. Okay, one last thing is the remover color. That's green screen. So I do have a green screen video here. So let's go to the media bin and drag this green screen clip in. So if you're not familiar with green screen, or you've never heard of it or anything, basically green screen is used a heck of a lot in films and stuff these days. I think it's called CGI. And basically what you can do is remove this color. So you can remove any color, but green and blue is the two colors that are usually used, because they're I think there is a reason, like, you know, like they're very far away from skin tone and stuff like that. But basically we can remove it and we can make this transparent, or any of this green area transparent. And what I'll actually do is a more in-depth video on green screening. So let's just go ahead and do it without me waffling on about it too much. Let's go remove a color, drop that bad boy in there. Then we need to go to our properties, and here you can choose a hex code, but for this you know, the chance of you getting it right is pretty slim. We're going to use the dropper, and I find usually, like this video, she's got a pretty crisp solid flat green behind her. Sometimes you get a lot of different shading, you get creases in the green screen material and stuff like that. Usually if you drop it nice and close to the body, then you get a good chroma key, is what I think that's actually called. Let's also go to the media and drop this video back in, and you'll see how it's now gone transparent in the background. So like weather people and stuff use this, you would have seen it a lot. We can now move her around like this. We can resize her like this, so she could be chatting away about our product or service.
Thanks for watching the video. To watch the next one, click right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button right.
So you can see that's actually, with one drop with that eyedropper, it's actually worked out pretty good. It's cut her out nice. That was because her lighting is very good on here and her background is very good. Sometimes you have to tweak around with this. Or you can just you can see her lips.
Thanks for watching the video.
That's pretty funny. But sometimes you just need to tweak around with this softness here. Sometimes you get like a green halo, that will get rid of that. Hopefully defringe as well will do that. Okay, I should stop messing around with that now. Anyway, let's revert everything. So yeah, that's very loosely on green screen. Camtasia is pretty damn good for it, for quick and dirty green screening, especially if it's been shot right in the first place like this one has. So yeah, that's it for visual effects, except for the interactive hotspot, which we're going to have a separate tutorial on, because it's going to go a lot more in depth than that. Okay, thanks guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching the video. To watch the next one, click right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here.